What's up guys, my name is Darren and today I'm going to be showing you how wetlands actually clean and purify our water. But before I get to that, we need to talk about watersheds. Watersheds are basically natural or man-made drainage systems that flow into your nearest big body of water. Whether that be Lake Erie or Catfish Creek or Kettle Creek, whatever big body of water is around you, that is where your watersheds lead to. So you can live in the rural countryside or you can live in suburban areas. Suburban areas, typically the watersheds are storm drains, which are those big metal grates you see on the side of the street. And when rain flows, it picks up trash and litter and pesticides off lawns and stuff and brings them down there, and they flow underneath the city all the way to your big body of water. So the reason wetlands are important is because they come in between the start of the watershed and the actual big body of water. So a wetland will be around this area, and what it does is it catches that water and it purifies and cleans it before it reaches our giant system of water. So I'm going to show you guys how this actually works. So we're going to have a bunch of chemicals and stuff for each of our little areas. Here I have a factory that's going to have some green chemicals for just, the toxins that the factory produces. We're going to have a landfill. It's going to be yellow, and we're going to have a sewage treatment plant over here, which is going to be red, and we're going to have blue for our actual residential areas where the rain will pick up random stuff off the street and bring it down. So in a second here it's going to rain, and you guys are going to see how all these chemicals actually flow into the same area through these watersheds. Before that, I've talked to you guys about point source pollution and non-point source pollution. Point source pollution is where if you find a certain chemical in your water, like let's say sewage or a certain chemical from a factory, you can trace that right back to exactly where it came from. You can trace that right back to the source. So that's source point pollution. Non-source point pollution is actually where it's like rain runoff from yards, and you get pesticides and random litter and stuff, or manure from, or different pesticides from farms. They get into your water, you can't tell exactly where they came from, so that is non-point source pollution. So now let's say it rains, and all this rain is picking up all these chemicals and it's putting them into our watersheds and flowing them into our body of water. So if you can actually see that, all these chemicals are not being stopped by anything, and they're going straight into our water systems. And this is where we actually drink out of. So I don't know about you guys, but I would not drink from that. This is why wetlands are so important, because they actually filter this before it gets into our waters. So I'm gonna clean this up and I will come back to you guys with the actual wetlands in place. Welcome back guys. So now I'm gonna be adding the wetlands, and I'm gonna show you how beneficial these are for our actual water systems. So for our wetlands, I'm gonna be using sponges because they pretty much work the same. I'm adding them in here and just gonna weight them down. Okay, so now we have all of our wetlands in the middle of our actual watersheds. So if I do the same thing here, got the same green chemicals for the factory, yellow chemicals for our landfills, red chemicals for our sewage treatment plant, and we got blue chemicals for our residential areas. And this time we're also going to add a little bit of manure for our farmland. All right, and now this is your typical city, but this time with our wetlands. And it's going to rain again, and you guys are going to see how our wetlands actually pick up these chemicals and don't allow them to get into our actual body of water here. And if you can see, there is no presence of chemicals over here whatsoever. And this is why wetlands are so important. They keep our water clean and drinkable, and this is why they need to be protected for the years to come. There are many things you can do at home to protect wetlands. You can not litter, you can conserve water, conserve paper, help plant trees, and especially don't put harmful chemicals down the sink or drain. But most importantly, tell your family and friends about how important wetlands are and how to protect them. Thank you.